Zambia, landlocked and vulnerable, was a beacon of hope in a region dominated by colonial and apartheid regimes. As a founding member of the Frontline States, Zambia, under President Kenneth Kaunda, provided the strategic, diplomatic, and material backbone for liberation movements in southern Africa. This essay explores the multifaceted nature of this support, highlighting how Zambia transformed itself into the nerve center of the liberation struggle. If you're enjoying this journey through history, please give the video a like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more stories to life. Classical building a headquarters for the struggle. Zambia's most significant contribution was opening its borders and its capital, Lusaka, to the exiled leadership of movements fighting white minority rule. This was not a passive act. It was a deliberate policy rooted in the Pan-Africanist conviction that Zambia's own freedom was meaningless if its neighbors were not liberated. Lusaka became the de facto headquarters for the region's major liberation forces. For 30 years, the capital was home to the African National Congress, ANC, of South Africa, where Oliver Tambo directed the movement's affairs from a house in the Avondale Township, a site now a national monument. The Southwest Africa People's Organization, SWAPO, of Namibia and the Zimbabwe African People's Union, ZAPU, also established their primary operational bases in the city. This concentration of exiled leadership turned Lusaka into the beating heart of a Pan-African revolutionary conscience, transforming the city into a hub of political and military strategy. Handshake, a key player in the Frontline States. Understanding the full scope of Zambia's contribution requires looking beyond its borders. It was a central pillar of the Frontline States (FLS) coalition. This loose coalition of African nations, including Tanzania, Botswana, Angola, and Mozambique, coordinated the international campaign against apartheid and minority rule. The FLS operated as a committee of the Assembly of the Heads of State of the Organization of African Unity, and under the chairmanship of leaders like Julius Nyerere and later Kenneth Kaunda, it created a unified front that was critical in isolating the Rhodesian and South African regimes. Studio microphone, diplomatic and material support. Zambia's backing was extensive. Operating on several crucial fronts, diplomatic champion, on the international stage, President Kaunda was a relentless advocate for the liberation cause. He used his influence to lobby for sanctions and to secure international support for the movements. A significant diplomatic victory was brokering the agreement between FRELIMO and Portuguese colonizers in 1974, which paved the way for Mozambique's independence. He also helped initiate the first talks between the ANC and the apartheid regime in 1985, a move that opened the floodgates for negotiations. Logistics and provisions, the support was also profoundly practical. Zambia provided essential logistics, including food, medical supplies, and transportation to sustain the guerrilla war effort. The government also offered direct aid, such as providing free jabs for cholera, typhoid, and malaria to all members of the liberation movements and giving them priority access to food supplies during a drought. Flying money a heavy price. The cost of solidarity. This support, however, came at an immense cost. By choosing to host liberation movements, Zambia placed itself in the firing line, becoming a target for devastating military reprisals. Operation Gatling. The most brutal retaliation was the Rhodesian raid on the 19th of October 1978. In a strike named Operation Gatling, Rhodesian forces bombed the Freedom Camp, a ZAPU headquarters and training base near Lusaka, killing an estimated 1,500 people, including women, children, and unarmed recruits. Economic and human toll. Beyond the direct attacks, Zambia's economy was sabotaged, its trade routes were disrupted, and it faced relentless pressure from Western powers, paying a premium price for its moral stance. Gem, a lasting legacy. Zambia's role in the liberation of Southern Africa is a powerful testament to the strength of Pan-African solidarity. By sacrificing its own security and economic stability to provide a sanctuary and a voice for the oppressed, it helped dismantle the pillars of colonial and apartheid rule. The freedom of Zimbabwe, 1980, Namibia, 1990, and South Africa, 1994, stands as the ultimate validation of Kaunda's conviction, ensuring that the sacrifices made on Zambian soil are forever etched into the continent's history. Thank you for watching. If you found this history valuable, please like and subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to explore the post-independence political or economic developments of any of these nations further, feel free to ask. We'd love to hear your perspective and keep the conversation going.